For this next example of elimination, we're again going to stick with the same things we've been doing. We're trying to figure out what x and y is in both of these equations. And they should come out to be, the same thing if there is a solution to it. The one thing I want you to notice about this is we don't have our terms lined up probably how we want to. I want to make sure that the x is underneath the x and the y is underneath the y, because it's going to be a lot easier to eliminate things if we have everything lined up right. So this isn't going to be too hard to do. I'm just going to shift it so the equals is over here on the other side. So I'm just going to rewrite it like this. Negative x, and that would just be like negative 1x. This 2y is positive, so it would just be plus 2y equals 12. So that would be the exact same equation. I just put the equals on the other side. So now we have to figure out what we're going to actually eliminate here. And there's two ways to do this. I'm going to show you a couple different ways, just like I did in the last one. But the easiest way I think to do this here to eliminate is getting rid of these 2's. If I can make one of these 2's negative, then I'll have a positive 2 and a negative 2 that I'll be able to cancel out. Then I'll be able to get rid of the y's and only have the x's left. So let's just make, it doesn't matter, but I'll make the bottom one into negative 2. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to multiply by negative 1. Again, maybe I should put that dot there like I did in the last one, just so you see what I'm doing. So times negative 1. So I can't just multiply this by negative 1. I have to multiply the entire thing so everything stays consistent. So if I multiply negative 1 by negative 1, I just get 1x. Negative 1 times positive 2 is going to be negative 2y. And then if I have negative 1 times 12, it's going to be negative 12. So now if I go through here, again, I'm not looking at these numbers anymore. I'm looking at this equation, and I'm looking at the new one that I made. So I want this number, this number, this number. I'll take this term right here, this term right here, and this term right here. So now I know that this will cancel out with this, so we got rid of the y's. So now I'm just going to do my 2x and my 1x and combine those together and get 3x. Still have my equal sign. And then I'll do my 6 and my negative 12 would be negative 6. Negative 12 and 6 would be negative 6. So now I should be able to just look at this and see what x is. Well, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So x is going to be negative 2. Alright, now all I have to do is pick one of my equations, and it doesn't matter which one it is, put negative 2 in for x, and solve for y. So I guess I'll just go back up to my original one here. So I'll rewrite it with negative 2 in for x. So it's going to be 2 times negative 2, because that's what x is, plus 2y equals 6. So this would be 2 and negative 2. It's going to be negative 4. I will put this over on this side. So I would have to add 4 here. That would cancel that out. I will have to add 4 on the other side also. So now I get 10. So now my new problem looks like 2y equals 10. And I can just look at that and see 2 times 5 is 10. So y has to be 5. So this should be my solution to the problem. Negative 2 for x, 5 for y. And again, like I said, you should be able to put these two in for any of these equations and it should work out fine. And I'll show you what I mean. I'll take this bottom one here. So that'd be negative 1 times negative 2, because that's x, plus 2 times 5, and that has to equal 12. And it should. These two together, negative 1 and negative 2, equal positive 2. 2 times 5, 10. 2 plus 10 is 12. So that checks out. You can always go back and double check. We're going to look at the exact same problem. Again, I'm going to rewrite it so we actually have the things in the right places. So it was, use the same red color here, negative 1x plus 2y equals 12. Make sure that was right. So I remember what it was. Yep, that's it. So now instead of canceling out the 2's, I'm going to cancel, or the y's, I'm going to cancel out the x's. So in order to do that, again, remember we have to have opposite numbers, so I'd have to have like a negative something and a positive something. So I think what I'll do here is I'll make one of these negative 1. Excuse me, let me change that. I'll make one of these negative 2, and I'll make one of these positive 2. And again, you can just do it here, but I want to show you that you can be flexible and do it a couple different ways. So I'm going to change this into negative 2. In order to do that, I would have to multiply by negative 1. I'm going to change this to, how about positive 2, so we have a negative and a positive. I'll multiply that by negative 2, because negative 2 times negative 1 would be positive 2. So now I'm going to go through and make my changes here. Everything here has to be multiplied by negative 1. Everything here has to be multiplied by negative 2. So that would be negative 2x, and then this would be 2 times negative 1, negative 2y. Negative 1 times 6 would be negative 6. Down here, negative 2 times negative 1 is 2. Negative 2 times 2 would be negative 4. And then negative 2 times 12 is going to be negative 24. So now let's focus on the numbers we're supposed to be looking at here. We want this one, this one, this one, that one, that one, that one. I can cancel out these two to get rid of the x's. Negative 2 and positive 2 will cancel out. So now let's put these together. Negative 2 and negative 4, negative 6y. Negative 24 and negative 6, negative 30 equals. And I'll just look at that and say y's got to be 5 in that one, because negative 6 times 5 is negative 30. So I'll start my coordinate here with 5y. And that should have been the same one as we got the other screen. And it was. We got 5. Okay, so now I'm going to put 5 in for y on one of these problems. It doesn't matter which one. So how about I just do the one that I made on top? That would be fine. So I'd have negative 2x minus 2 times 5 equals negative 6. So I will replace this 2 times 5 with 10. Oops. There we go. I'll put this over on the other side here, which to do that I'd have to do plus 10 to cancel that out. We'll do plus 10 here. So now my negative 6 and 10 is going to be positive 4. So now all I have left is negative 2x equals 4, and then that has to be negative 2, because negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Look back at the other problem, we got the exact same thing. So you can be flexible. You can get rid of the x's first, you can get rid of the y's first, it's up to you. And I would try to figure out which one's easiest. Out of these two, this one's clearly going to be the easiest because we only had to multiply one of the sets of numbers here, whereas here I had to do 2, but either way is fine.